everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and still on the theme of information literacy. Here I come to give you another video about information sources. And so this second video is going to be about secondary sources of information. In the first one, it was primary. So this one, it's going to be secondary sources of information. So I prepared still a presentation. This presentation really helped me to make work easier. So I prepared a PowerPoint presentation that I'll be using to take you through. Here we go. Information sources, and particularly it is secondary sources of information. So we're going to look at the definition of secondary sources. What are the examples? What are the characteristics of these secondary sources, so that you can know where the kind of information you're getting is coming from. Maybe it's coming from a primary source or a secondary source. So to begin with, is the definition of secondary sources. Secondary sources, these ones analyze, interpret, or summarize primary sources of information. These kind of sources are created after the fact or offer context, commentary, and analysis based on original materials. Remember, original materials, I told you, these are the primary sources because for them they get information from the time of occurrence of an event. So they become the original sources of information. So they are the original materials. So these secondary sources, they offer context, commentary, analysis based on original materials, which are the primary sources. So let's go further ahead to see what these are. So examples of secondary sources, we have documentaries, we have essays and reviews, we have books, we have encyclopedias, we have journal articles. So let's see what are essays, what are reviews. If anyone has read a novel, we always have book reviews behind there. These book reviews are written after you have read the novel. That's when you write that book review. You write and you see how summarized it is, and it's one of the characteristics we've seen about secondary sources: summarize and analyze. So someone reads the book, analyzes it, and summarizes it at the back of the page. You see how short a book review is. So the same thing to essays. You're going to read the whole context in the whole book, and then you're going to sit down and write an essay about that book that you have read. That essay is not going to have as many pages as the book. It's going to be summarized, can take to 3 pages to 4 pages, yet the whole book is having pages like 600 pages. So you're going to write an essay about the book. It's very summarized, and you're going to take time to analyze the book. Same thing to documentaries, journals, and encyclopedias. So far, those are the examples of secondary sources. Well, there are many other examples of secondary sources that you can get via the internet. And you can be able to see they are not only these ones, there are still so many. So I urge you to go to internet and search more examples of secondary sources of information. These secondary sources are valuable for understanding the context, significance, or broader implications of primary data. They offer deeper understanding of events and trends or ideas. Though they are summarized and analyzed, a lot of unnecessary information from a primary source um, is removed, so that when you read this secondary source of information, you're going to go straight to the main point, to the key point, and you're going to the significance, because it's going to be brought out. It's going to be brought because when you read the primary data, you're going to remove a lot of unnecessary stuff and then come to the actual point. And when you come to the actual point, that's what you're going to write about. That's now going to be called a secondary source. Yes. So they provide they provide broader implications of primary data, and they offer deeper understanding of events, trends, or ideas. Primary sources will only tell you what happened, how it happened, how did it start, how did it end, but you're not going to understand why did it start like that. Why did it move like that? Why did it end like that? But the secondary sources, since there is interpreting and analysis, they're going to give you that deeper understanding of the events and trends or ideas. So these are the characteristics of secondary sources. Therefore, we have interpretative secondary sources of information, provide the interpretative part of it. They are evaluative, they are summarized, and contextual. So let's see what each of this means. When I say secondary sources are interpretative, the interpretative part of it involves some level of analysis, synthesis, and evaluation of primary sources. And then we go to evaluative, they offer opinions or assessments based on the evidence got from primary sources. For you to be able, remember, for you to be able to create secondary source of information, you must be reading from primary source of information, or you must be getting your information from a primary source. Then they are summarized. They provide information that is summarized, unnecessary data is omitted. Primary source is going to give you raw data, uncensored, unfiltered. So you're going to sit down, read and analyze it, and then omit out a lot of stuff and only leave what is important, so that you can get a deep understanding and also get its significance so easily. So also, secondary sources are contextual. Secondary sources from information to fit within a desired parameter. Remember, when you're reading from a primary source, you're going to read all that information, but you're going to narrow it to a point that it should not contain this, should not contain. You're going to trim, let me call it trimming, and to fit within a certain frame that when you read, all the unnecessary stuff is omitted and it's within a certain boundary that you want it to end. That's a secondary source. It does not really limit ideas, but it's going to omit a lot of unnecessary stuff to fit within the boundaries that you want the information. If you want, if the event that was recorded, let me still give an example of robbery, was recorded from maybe the camera, or recorded from the time when no one was passing there, someone came and passed, other people came and passed. So when you get this video, you're going to narrow that whole thing to the point where the robbery started. So that's what I'm meaning by secondary sources from information to fit within a desired parameter. You're going to narrow it to the time when the robbery, because all you need is the time when the robbery started. Yes. So those are the characteristics of secondary sources. We've come to the end of our session. Thank you for viewing my video. Thank you for also sharing my link. I want to encourage you to continue watching these videos. By the end of it all, I promise you're going to have a lot of information about what information literacy is, and I also promise you that you'll be equipped with information literacy skills. So I urge you all to continue watching these videos, share these links with your friends so that we can all learn these ideas. You never know, your friend doesn't know anything about this. So till then, let's meet in our next video and we shall see what we shall be looking about in the next video. So thank you for listening. That was all for today. That was all for this video. Let's meet in the next video.